Oh, hello. Welcome to today's Decay, where we celebrate births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. May 16th edition, all day. And whatever happened? Why, in 1861, when H.H. Holmes was born, you don't have to be a Sherlock to deduce that H.H. Holmes was an infamous American serial killer who created a literal horror hotel in Chicago in the early 1890s to lure Midwestern women to their dooms who were coming to the city to enjoy the Chicago World's Fair, or the World's Fair in Chicago in like 1892-ish. Yeah, there's this book I think everybody who is curious about the H.H. Holmes story reads, called Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. That's really good, and I'm gonna say the reason the author frames the story as he does is probably because there's not that much information about H.H. Holmes out there, like enough to fill a full book, a novel-sized book. And so what he winds up doing is he decides to go back and forth, flip-flopping chapter to chapter on like the highest part of society in Chicago and the lowest part of society in Chicago. Lowest being H.H. Holmes as he's beginning his dastardly work. And the highest is Olmsted, who is the person tasked with creating all the flora and fauna for the fairgrounds for the park. And so you get like both of their like parallel stories as they're going about their journeys. And everybody who I know, nobody who is a Olmsted fan reads this, or like is coming to this to read his exploits. Rather, everybody's like, oh, the gruesome details of H.H. Holmes as he's building trapdoors and like incinerators and like all sorts of just unbelievable stuff. Point being, everybody that I've spoke to about this, which comes up in conversation a lot, winds up coming away from it with such an appreciation for Olmsted's passion and drive to work with flora and fauna and create environments based off of colors and smells and so on, to the point that he's like importing all sorts of like very specific types of flowers and such from like literally all over the world. Yeah, to the point that like after reading the book, I wound up going to Central Park and having like a whole new appreciation, because he also created Central Park as well as Prospect Park. He's buried in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, basically just right around from Abraham Martling, the namesake of Brom Bones from the Washington Irving story. Yeah, but that's another story entirely. Bull Montana, born today, 1887, who was a professional, initially a professional boxer with like this like really great stature and these incredible cauliflower ears, who winds up becoming a film, I won't say star, but a film actor, certainly a early character actor in like the 19 teens and 20s, maybe even before that. He's in Charlie Chaplin's The Kid as like the tough guy with the bowler hat and the cigar. He is in is it Mystery the Leaping Fish, I think, as like this demon monster character. Some Douglas Fairbanks Sr. stuff. He's a Beastman in the film Lost World from 1925. Really cool stuff, and a whole bunch more that is unfortunately lost to time, but like a couple of stills out there just make this look like a lot of fun. Yeah, Bull Montana. Luna Park opened today in 1903. This is near and dear to my heart. I love that we're in like this window of the year. I think like doing this every day forever You've got like different seasons of life where like certain things are more happening or not. I guess. Anyway, we're in the weather's getting nicer, and so therefore Coney Island opens up all its amusement parks in different years, but still all right around this time, right? So Luna Park, 1903, near and dear to my heart because this was in Brighton Beach, really. And my grandfather grew up right around the corner from there. Milton Luckman, and used to tell me all the he grew up in the teens and 20s, and so would go to Luna Park all the time. All the amusement parks that were there then, but specifically this one because it was like in his like backyard for all intents and purposes. And would tell me all sorts of great stories about the various death-defying rides and just unbelievable surrealistic situations they would like put people in to embarrass them and so on. And I didn't, as a kid, I didn't believe anything he said because it was just too unbelievable to be true. And fast forward, and the internet and life experience and research and so on, I can tell you, he never lied to me once. It was all true. Yeah. And actually, take a look at this. Speaking of which, on the Milton Luckman front at Luna Park, his cousin, in these stories he used to tell me when I was a kid, was that we had a bearded lady in our family, and her name was Lionette, the lion-faced girl, and she worked in Coney Island from 1925 to 1940, and my grandfather eventually was like a big burly dock worker guy, and people would try to beat her up at night, so, like on her way home from work, so he would stand outside and wait for her to get home and like walk her home to make sure she was safe. And here is a original postcard of her. Dora Gutterman, aka Lionette, the lion-faced girl. Coney Island history from, and this one's signed too. With lots of luck and best wishes, Dora Gutterman. She's not kidding either. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Anyway, so I believe Grandpa's the point. Yvonne Craig, born today in 1937. That's the 1966 Batman's Batgirl, of course. And here is a signed autograph to yours truly, of her for me. Yeah. That's Lurex she's wearing. It sure is. What else? The film Alone in the Dark premiered today at the Cannes Film Festival in 1982. So not the like North American or theatrical premiere, but at the Cannes Film Festival, much like the, hey, it's Luna Park. This is also the window of time where Cannes is happening. So world premieres as far as, people are beginning to see these things, even if it's just kind of, sneaking out there in bits and pieces. We're in that season of life as well. This is a film you can do because it's really good, and it's something that has like haunted me my entire life, because I remember Saturday Nightmares had it on TV in probably the mid to late 80s, and my parents were away and we had a babysitter, and I was supposed to be in bed already, and I was supposed to be in bed already, my record skipping, and I was hiding behind the couch watching Saturday Nightmares while she was watching Saturday Nightmares on the couch. And I didn't remember the movie at all. I just remember this one scene is like burned into my brain, where these two characters are sleeping in bed, and the girl like wakes up and is like, I heard something in the closet. Go take a look. There's somebody here. And the guy was like, oh, you're just dreaming. Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep. It's like, no, really, I mean it. Somebody's in there. He's like, oh, fine. So he begrudgingly gets out of bed and like kind of like stomps slowly over to the closet door. The music swells. There's like a dramatic pause, and he opens the door, and there's nobody there. It's like, see, I told you there's nobody. You got me out of bed for nothing. And he's like walking back to bed, and then suddenly a hand grabs him from underneath the bed by his ankle and pulls him under the bed. The woman screams, and this giant sword pokes up through the mattress at her, and she's like, you know, screaming and hollering. And as a child, I also have given up my hiding spot and have like jumped up and I'm screaming and running upstairs, and the babysitter's like, "What are you doing? Get into bed!" And I will remember the scene for like the rest of my life. And anytime I was like, it's dark in the room and I'm like going back into bed, I always in my head think of this scene. And I never knew what this movie was. I tried to research it, I couldn't figure it out. Nothing made sense. In recent history, it was identified for me what the film was, and I watched it, and it is a great movie. It's so weird. Martin Landau, Donald Pleasance, who else is in it? Somebody else huge. It's a crazy cast. It makes no sense. It really doesn't. The sick fucks are in there for some reason as well. I don't know. It's a great film for what it is. Yeah. And then Stranger Than Paradise premiered 1984, the Jim Jarmusch movie. So I've met Jim Jarmusch at 96 Tears, the Howie Pyro Bar, and I remember I think we were in different points of our evening, and I was like, you know, I have a theory about your work. And I'm sure he's like, oh God, what is this guy gonna say? So I told him I think that like the way he writes dialogue or paces scenes is he's taking out all the extraneous small talk that like people would usually have with each other, and just it's like pregnant pauses, silence, where like, and now we're gonna talk about what what needs to push the plot forward, and anything else that like we're just gonna randomly, you know, babble about is gone. And that's why like it's so stark so frequently in a lot of his films. I don't remember his answer, and I'm not saying that I was making sense when I said it, but that's what I was trying to tell him. So if you're listening now, Jim, those are my thoughts on your work. May 16th, all day, from me to you, till tomorrow.